Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your brother Kwam Allah coming at you with another lesson. Before I get into this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rahahach, Wadash. Also, I want to give double honors to my elder apostles and elder bishops of great millstone who teach this truth and who rule well. Kazak shalom to the hopeful elect. All right, this is a lengthy video that I want to let play out, going into, the downfall of America. America is, crumbling. All right, and I'm gonna let a little bit of this play. I'm gonna grab some scriptures. I might grab some within, but
shut down, the first in nearly 7 years.
Democrats and Republicans are facing off for what could be a long fight. Hundreds of thousands of workers have been furloughed. Services Americans depend on have been disrupted, and the shutdown could impact the travel industry the longer it lasts.
We'll probably have a shutdown because one of the things they want to do is they want to give incredible Medicare, the Cadillac Medicare, to illegal immigrants. And what that does is it keeps them coming into our country, and like they do in California.
All right, within this news frame, all right, they're shutting down the government, all right, which if you're an essential worker, all right, I believe that those are going to be the only ones that's able to work in this, and that's in some cases. All right, but a lot of people, is about to be getting laid off, furloughed off, as he just said, and then soon, all right, they're not about to have no jobs, which is, they're going to have to have money for income, and soon not have any. All right, and then what's going to happen? All right, you're going to have uproars of the people to a point to where people is going to be coming against this man, which people already have, especially with the executive orders that he done pushed out. But as far as what's going on now, all right, we got to see what plays out.
And no country can afford that.
Day 2 of the Democrats' shutdown. Let's make absolutely clear what's happening here. Real pain is being inflicted upon the American people because 44 Democrats in the Senate have voted for the third time to reject the completely nonpartisan, completely clean, very simple 24-page continuing resolution that we passed in the House here 2 weeks ago. Now, why did we do that?
To the American people who are watching, the reason your government is shut down at this very minute is because, despite the fact that the overwhelming majority of congressional Republicans and even a few moderate Democrats supported opening the government, the Chuck Schumer AOC wing of the Democratic Party shut down the government because they said to us, we will open the government, but only if you give billions of dollars of funding for health care for illegal aliens.
First government shutdown in nearly 7 years. Yes, this is happening. It officially began at midnight because lawmakers and President Trump failed to reach a deal. Both sides are now in a bitter fight over spending priorities and blaming the other. According to one estimate, up to 750,000 workers could be...
No, I just want to, speak on the fact that the whole thing with Doge, when he brought in, Elon Musk, all right, Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, they were supposed to, track down millions or possibly billions of dollars that, the government was spending, foolishly, man. So what happened to that money? Like, what is, it got to come down to a deal for what happened to that money that was brought back, all right, that was taxpayers' dollars, man, But just showing you, man, these people don't care about nothing, but themselves. They don't care about the taxes you pay. They don't care about how you live. All right, you see how Flint, Michigan, with a water crisis, how they've been. But at the end of the day, it's all of the Lord.
Furloughed every day, costing them $400 million in pay every day.
This is the type of thing you've said about shutdowns in the past. Let's listen.
What if I persuaded my caucus to say I'm going to shut the government down? I'm going to not pay our bills unless I get my way. It's a politics of idiocy, of confrontation, of paralysis. Shutting down government over a policy difference is self-defeating. We can never hold American workers hostage again. While the CR bill is very bad, the potential for a shutdown has consequences for America that are much, much worse.
In day 2 of a government shutdown, and President Trump is threatening mass layoffs of federal workers. For more on all this, Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson, who's been blaming Democrats for all of it, joins us now to expand on those thoughts and more. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for joining us. My first question is an easy one. Is any negotiation going on right now on Capitol Hill?
There's no negotiation right now because the Democrats have dug in. You say I'm blaming the Democrats. I mean, these are objective facts. We passed in the House more than 2 weeks ago a clean continuing resolution. There's no partisan pills in this. There's no Republican priorities. It's just an extension of current funding, Tony, so that we can keep the government open until November 21st to allow the appropriators in both parties to continue their good work. They've been working.
At midnight, Donald Trump and Republicans shut the federal government down because they don't want to provide health care to working class Americans. Leader Schumer and myself met.
Right, which in other countries, all right, healthcare is free, all right, for almost, every citizen, but over here in America, all right, they're not being hospitable, all right, they're charging you, all right, they're waxing you, they're giving you medicine that's making you sicker or bringing you in, or that's causing you to treat one disorder or disease within your body to another, gaining, one that might come along, with just taking that medicine, because that's how they got it set up with their pharmaceuticals. All right, but I'm gonna let this play.
With President Trump and legislative leaders on Monday. We had a conversation that was designed to avoid a painful government shutdown and address the Republican healthcare crisis. Subsequent to that meeting, we heard nothing from any of the legislative leaders on the Republican side. And the president has been engaging in irresponsible and unserious behavior, demonstrating that all along, Republicans wanted to shut the
down and scam you out of money. Watch your emails, watch your phone calls, don't give away personal information, be very skeptical of anybody reaching out during this shutdown.
I have no idea what's going on with the shutdown. These are the only two things you need to know. The Democrats refused to sign a budget bill that will cause us to lose a ton of health care. They're not asking for more. They're just saying to the Republicans, hey, can we keep what we have? And if we lose it, a lot of people are going to pay double for their health care. And the Republicans refused to negotiate, so government got shut down. The second thing is that you're going to hear this lie that the Democrats want to give health care to the illegals. And I hate to tell you, but undocumented people can't get health care. You're literally just being lied to. That's all.
As we speak here this morning, there are hundreds of thousands of federal workers who are getting their furlough notices. Nearly half of our civilian workforce is being sent home. These are hardworking Americans who work for our federal government. Our troops and our Border Patrol agents will have to go to work, but they'll be working without pay. Food assistance, veterans benefits, and vital support for women and children are all coming to a halt. Now, thankfully, President Trump is trying to mitigate the damage as much as possible. His administration is working to limit the harm to the American people.
Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 36 and verse 6. It says, Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed. All right, the staff is the support system, all right, that Esau, to set out for you jigs to have a job, to have within your community to support yourselves. All right, a lot of people within, the federal government. All right, but if you not part of, as a central worker, you about to be laid off. All right, and soon, the people that you done voted for and trusted in, all right, is now about to fail you. All right, but it says, Isaiah 36 and 6, it says, Lo, thou trusted in the staff, which is the support, it says, of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, and that's what a lot of people do, they trust in Egypt, man. The scripture's talking about that. What is it, Isaiah 30, Isaiah 31, where it talks about woe unto them that go down to Egypt for help. And a lot of people soon is about to, they're not going to trust in the Lord. They're going to go and follow after, this influence of media, all right, to proclaim the minds of the people, all right, to subject them to the will of what's going on, all right, to their agenda. All right, it says, where if a man lean, it will go into his hand, all right, it's going to pierce you. All right, it says, and pierced it, all right, meaning what? All right, cause when you get pierced, all right, especially in your hand, you're more than likely unoperable. All right, and here you sitting up here trusting in something that's gonna put you down automatically, especially give you that grievous sore. You can even say it like that. All right, because that's what it's gonna boil down to. The MOTB, which a lot of people gonna trust in that just so they can continue on with their day-to-day life. But at the end of the day, what's gonna happen? All right, that staff, that support system that you believed in, that was gonna help you keep going in life, is gonna pierce you. It's gonna take you out the game. All right, it says, so is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, all that trust in him. All right, and that's what we about to see. We about to see the fall, all right, of these Egyptians. All right, the scriptures talking about the Lord's gonna set Egyptian against Egyptian. All right, and that's with the whole right and left wing. All right, the Flavians and patricians. All right, the Democrats and Republicans. All right, the Lord is setting them, against each other. At the end of the day, all right, the scriptures talk about how a kingdom divided cannot stand. All right, and that's what we, coming forward to. All right, I'm gonna go to Psalms 75. And 10, it says, let me see, is that it? Yeah, Psalm 75 and 10.